What is up, YouTube? Brandon here with Beard Guy EDC, back at you guys with another video today. Today we're going to be doing a sharpening video. So I'm going to be taking my buddy's HoneyBadger and we're going to be taking that and doing a full reprofile. So I sharpened it for him a little while ago and it was sharp, don't get me wrong, it shaved and all that, but it just didn't perform the way he liked it to. I matched the factory bevel. He wants it a little more slicey. He wants to be able to, glide through materials a little better. So I told him I'd do a little reprofile for him. I'm going to bring it down to about 14 to 15 degrees and polish it up real nice. And hopefully it'll be cutting real good. Yeah, so I'm going to jump right in here with this video and get this knife sharpened up. And hopefully you guys enjoy the content. If not, well, I guess I won't do so many sharpening videos. I'll stick to the reviews. But today we're going to sharpen up the HoneyBadger, the Wharncleaver in green. And hopefully we can get a good edge on it and show you guys the process. I'm going to be going from about a 400 grit, I might go a little coarser, up to probably about 3000 grit is where I'm going to end off with the 8CR13 MOV. I don't usually bring that up to 8000. The 8CR13 MOV is a good steel, don't get me wrong, but I save the 8000 grit for more of the S30V, S35VN. The higher end steels really like the mirror edge a little better. But the 8CR13 should take a 1000 to 3000 grit edge really nice and should perform the way that he wants it to. So without further ado, let's jump into this sharpening video and let's do it. Okay, you guys, let's jump right in here with the sharpening video. So we're going to be sharpening up a HoneyBadger today in 8CR13 MOV. My buddy wants it sharpened up. It's actually not my knife. But yeah, so he said it's not cutting the way he likes it, so I'm going to do a full reprofile. Right now the edge is probably, I would say the edge is maybe 17, 18 degrees per side. And I want to reprofile that to probably about 14 or 15 degrees per side. I'm going to be doing it freehand, so it's not going to be precise. But yeah, hopefully I can get it to around 14, 15 degrees per side, widen out that bevel a little bit, get it more slicey and performing the way he wants it to. So let's jump right in here and I'm going to start off over here to the side. This is my water tub. That's where I keep my stones. So I'm going to pull that over a little closer. Take the lid off. So yeah, I'm going to start off with actually just a cheap Canadian Tire stone. It's really coarse. I just find it works well for reprofilings. Don't want to start off with anything fine because I'll be here for hours trying to take material off. So yeah, I'm just going to place it in the holder, in the stone holder just so. Grab myself a microfiber. Splash a bit extra water on the stone. You want to match your apex usually, but for this I'm going to be doing a reprofile, so I'm going to bring it down slightly shallower than the apex. Like I said, about 15, 14 degrees, somewhere in that vicinity. You want to be really deliberate with your strokes. You want to hold really firm. You don't want to have any wavering in your angle or you're going to mess everything up. So like I said, you want to hold your angle really firm and deliberate. In my case, at about 14, 15 degrees, you can match the bevel. There's ways of doing that. But in this case, I want to actually make it a little bit narrower. As you can see, bevel's starting to widen out a little bit, but you want to make sure you hit that apex as well. You can widen the bevel all you want, but if you don't hit the apex, you're going to end up with a dull edge. Add a bit more water. Now you can do edge leading or edge trailing strokes. That's entirely up to you. Edge leading strokes are where you slice into the stone, and that produces much more of a burr. If you're doing edge trailing strokes, it's more of a stropping stroke, and it doesn't really produce as much of a burr. It's going to be more of a microscopic burr. And you want to remain consistent with that angle so you can keep a consistent bevel. You don't want to have a wonky bevel that's thicker and thinner as you go up. You want to keep it consistent, straight bevel. And just kind of slice in. You don't have to go this fast when you're starting out. You can do more slow strokes. You want to really go by the sound of it. You can tell when you're removing steel in the right places. A little more work on this side. We should be in business. A little more work on the heel. The tip is looking pretty good. Okay. We are getting there. We are getting there. Okay, I'm going to move on to the 400 grit now. Place that back in the water. .400 grit in the holder. Sprinkle some water. Clean the hands. And away we go. And as you can see now, that bevel is starting to really thicken up. Starting to get a bit of a shine to it. This side still needs a bit of work. Throw some more water on the stone and dive right in. The burr right now is on this side of the edge, and I want to move that burr over to the other side. So I'll add some water and start sharpening again. This is at 400 grit at about 14 to 15 degrees per side. We pretty much have a burr all the way. Pretty much have a burr all the way swapped over, and now we'll try and get it deburred just slightly before we move on to the next stone. So just do a couple quick little strokes in here, really light. And then one more on this side. Just to take the burr off of that edge. I'm going to dunk the stone real quick and flip it over to the 1000 grit side. All right, now we're up to the 1000 grit. This is where you're going to start to see a nice polish on your edge. When you get to 1000 grit, you can really see a difference. So again, 15 degrees or so, 14 degrees, and just start going into that stone there. Okay, and I've already got a burr there with that 1000 grit that fast. So on to the other side, add a bit of water. Like I said, you just want to be really deliberate with your angle. You don't want to weaken your wrist at all. It's all in your wrist. You want to hold that angle steady and just kind of rock the blade across the edge to get the tip, maintaining that same angle that you use throughout the rest of the edge. Just trying to make sure I got a burr formed nicely there. A little more work on that apex. And we'll move up to the 3000 grit. I don't want to take the 8CR13 to 8000 grit. I just find that's a little bit overkill for 8CR13. It's not really necessary. All right, you guys, this is coming along really nice. Got a good burr going here on both sides. I think I can switch up to the 3000 grit. Making a mess with the water, but that's okay. I have another microfiber towel there that I'll wash that up with. All right, onto the 3000 grit. A little bit of water. Dry the hands. And dive back into the stones. Find your angle. Listen, make sure you're hitting that apex properly. You can hear it. It'll be a nice, smooth noise. If you're not hitting that apex, it's going to sound crunchy and not satisfying at all. This is more of a polishing stone at 3000 grit. I'm just trying to clean up the edge as much as I can to get it performing the way it should be. Soon I'm going to move to the other side. It's looking really good. A little more water and then we'll switch sides. And there's that sound I'm looking for. That nice smooth, I got the apex sound. 3000 grit, just polishing it up here. All right. Almost where I want it to be. Almost. I just need a little bit more work there. All right. So now, actually I'm going to do a little bit of cleanup first. There's way too much water here. I'm going to grab my strops now. So I have one loaded up with green compound. This guy I've had for about a year. I made it myself, as with this one. Made with the same leather, but this one's loaded up with autosol. So I usually start with the autosol. It's not as aggressive as a cut, and it just kind of deburrs it ever so slightly. So you want to just kind of find your angle about the same that you were sharpening with, and ever so lightly stroke. Now you want to use edge trailing strokes only. You don't want to use edge leading strokes on a strop, or you will cut it. You will slice right into your leather, and nobody wants to do that. So you just want to go back and forth on your strop there a bit. Try and deburr it a little bit. And then I'm going to go to my green strop, which is kind of going to polish it a bit more. Cuts a bit more material. And do the same thing. You want to find that angle and just follow it the whole way down the edge. Go back and forth, sometimes starting from the tip, sometimes starting from the heel. Just switching it up to make sure you get that whole edge stropped off nicely. And once the burr is removed, we should be left with a pretty well razor sharp edge, if everything went well. See right here. See if you can see it on the camera. So there's a couple hairs there on the edge. All right, guys. So after that sharpening process, this is how it cuts through paper. I wish I did a before, but before it wouldn't really cut. It kind of snagged and tore. So let's see how it cuts through paper now that it's been reprofiled up to 3000 grit, then stropped. Let's see how it goes. No real snags or anything there. Cuts real nice and smooth. That's what I expect from a 14-degree angle. Real nice and slicey. So yeah, that's my sharpening process. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Time to clean up the mess I made. And as per usual, end off the video with a pocket dump of what I'm carrying today while filming. So I'll start off with the CH Knives 3002. That's going to be in the Jade G10 D2 steel. I think it's about 4 millimeters wide. It's a big chunk of steel on bearings. Real nice action. It's the first time I've heard of this brand, CH Knives, but So far I'm pretty impressed for a Chinese knife. Very nice quality. I feel like you guys are getting sick of seeing this one, but as always, carrying the Benchmade mini bug out. I've got my Olight i3T EOS. Love this flashlight. Great quality. And it's getting cold as shit, so I got my medicated Blistex because it's dry, it's snowy, and my lips don't like it. So that's it for the carry. I hope you guys are having a great day. I hope you enjoyed the sharpening video. I will be coming out with lots more content again every week, every Sunday, hopefully, sometimes Monday, but we're trying to get it out once a week on Sunday is hopefully what I'm aiming for. But as I always say, leave a comment, let me know what you want to see, and I can make that happen for you. Leave some constructive criticism, anything at all. Have a great day. Like, subscribe, and share.